Hello everyone, this is Brett and thank you for tuning in. Today is part 5 in my ongoing weekly playlist series where I show and discuss 5 records that have been in rotation over the last week. If you want to check out some of the songs that I talk about, follow the link in the playlist where it compiles the 3 songs from each of these records as well as all the music from previous episodes. Let's kick things off with Peter Gabriel's So from 1986. This was his 5th solo album. This listen was inspired by my wife and I just watched Say Anything the other night. There's that famous scene where Lloyd Dobler, played by John Cusack, is holding up the boombox, playing In Your Eyes to Diane Court. This was produced by Daniel Lanois, who previously worked with U2 on The Unforgettable Fire, and would be working on U2's Joshua Tree shortly after this. Favorite tracks on this one, the opening song Red Rain is just a masterpiece. In Your Eyes, of course, and then Don't Give Up with the duet with Kate Bush. Compared to those 3 heavy hitters, the mega singles from this one, Sledgehammer and Big Time, are probably my least favorite songs on this one. So anyways, Peter Gabriel. So another one inspired by something else that happened. You probably saw in the news that REM did a brief reunited little 1-song performance for their induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and they did an interview which I highly recommend checking out on YouTube. But it inspired me to pull out some REM records, and I went for this one. Their 3rd record, 1985's Fables of the Reconstruction. I feel like this album is kind of underrated in the catalog. While I never really warmed up to the single Can't Get There From Here, the rest of the album is pretty great. Driver 8 is top tier REM for me, an absolute favorite. The opening track, Feeling Gravity's Pull, when it opens up into that middle section, it's just like otherworldly. It's like the song just grew wings and just soaring through the air. Epically beautiful. And my 3rd favorite, Green Grow the Rushes, there's that guitar theme in there that's just goosebumps. So Fables of the Reconstruction, REM's 3rd album. Like to just point out, if you're new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing, hit like, comment. All those things help the channel. I discuss all kinds of music with a special emphasis on 80s, 90s alternative, post-punk, new wave, shoegaze, Britpop, goth, dream pop, etc. Next up, here's one that came out a little over a week ago, and that's David Bowie's Rock and Roll Star. It's got that look cool metallic. So back on Record Store Day 2024, we got the release of that one back there that you can see, the Waiting in the Sky, which is just a reimagined version of the Ziggy Stardust album. So a week and a half ago, a single LP was released, as well as a big, I think 5 or 6 CD box set, all surrounding the recording of the Ziggy Stardust album. So demos, early versions, alternative versions, BBC recordings, live, alternative takes. I still may spring for the box, but fortunately the record, the single LP version, collected really all the songs. It's really hard to see on here, but there you go. Really collected the songs that I really, really wanted to have. The release itself, the cover, everything is really beautiful. It's really bare bones, though. It's just a single record. It is in a polyline sleeve, but there's no insert, no credits, anything like that. But it does tell you kind of the history of that recording and where it came from. Well, what's interesting about this one I also want to mention is the song Star. It's just melodically it's the same, but all the verse lyrics are completely different. So when it gets to the chorus, there's your main, chorus that we're used to, but the verses are all different lyrically, and you get some of that on one of the, on the early versions of Hang On to Yourself as well. But to mention 3 favorites, I mean all of it. But Holy Holy, which is one of those top tier David Bowie songs for me, which was originally released as a single in early 1971, in between The Man Who Sold the World and Hunky Dory. he would record a superior version for Ziggy, which didn't get released on the album, but it ended up becoming a B-side to the Diamond Dog single in 1974. I first got it on the Ryko CD edition of The Man Who Sold the World in like early 1990s, like 1990 or something, and love Holy Holy. So this is an alternate mix of that re-recorded version, which is really interesting to hear. Oh my god, the version of Lady Stardust on this one, they're calling it Take One alternate version. Bowie sings like in a lower register, and that is really fascinating. And then the third one I'm going to point out is Shadow Man, which was a Ziggy outtake. He would re-record it for the Toy album back in 2000, which ended up getting shelved. Of course, a few years ago, it got released in a box set and with a bunch of additional different versions and stuff of the songs. But that version that was re-recorded ended up getting used as B-side material when he released the Heathen album in 2002. So yeah, but this is the original Ziggy session version of Shadow Man. So do I recommend getting this? Yes. It's Bowie. It's of this era. Great stuff. All right, next up. All right, so back last year in 2023, the Church released an album called The Hypnagogue. And so shortly after, we get this companion album, which is called Eros Zeta and the Perfumed Guitars. Double album, lots of songs, beautiful. The vinyl edition just came out recently. It has a little graphic for each of the songs on here. I want to show you the actual record on this because it is this really cool green galaxy, they're calling it. Just beautiful, beautiful. So the Church going strong since their first album, 1981, highly prolific, and excellent stuff on here. Realm of Minor Angel, stellar track. Song 18, Korea. Those are my three picks, but there's a really, really beautiful instrumental called Music from the Ghost Hotel on this. So if you only know the Church from Under the Milky Way, there's a lot out there to check out. So Eros Zeta and the Perfume Guitars. All right, lastly, here's one my wife Sarah picked up. This is the Marionettes. This is Island. So they're a Swedish band. This came out back in 2009. It hadn't been reissued in 15 years, so we got this nice, cool grayish color swirled in there. It's got an OB strip on it. Grab one of these before they're gone. Excellent record. They haven't really put out any new material in about 10 years, and there's only about 4 albums in their catalog. But I'm going to recommend it if you like bands like Modern English, Editors, even The Cure. I think the whole album is super solid, but if you want to check out 3 songs, Puzzles, top notch. Cry for Love is this nice hazy ballad, and then The Disappearance of My Youth. So there you have it. There's 5 records that were in rotation over the last week. Let me know what you guys have been listening to, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.